If you're exercising and trying to build some muscle, then you've probably heard of the supplement creatine because it can help you do just that. But if you're not exercising, then you may be asking yourself, how does creatine work? Is it even safe? Well, today we're going to answer that question by showing you how creatine works in your body through fun animations. So, when you think of lifting weights, what comes to mind? Probably big muscles, right? Well, actually, those big muscles are made up of smaller components called muscle fibers. When you lift weights, you're actually tearing these muscle fibers, which then sends signals to your brain to start the repair process. Your brain then releases messenger molecules called neurotransmitters to your muscles. These neurotransmitters cross the neuromuscular junction, which is the gap between your nerves and muscles, and bind to receptors on muscle cells. This binding starts a domino effect, activating a protein called myosin. Myosin grabs onto another protein called actin and starts pulling, causing the muscle fiber to contract or shorten. Once the signal from your brain is done, the muscle relaxes and the cycle starts over again. Creatine helps this whole process along by shuttling more energy into your muscle cells. That energy is stored in a molecule called ATP, or more specifically, phosphocreatine. Think of phosphocreatine like a fully charged battery that powers your muscles. As you exercise, your muscles use up the phosphocreatine in your body. You can only store a small amount of phosphocreatine in your muscles, but taking creatine supplements increase your stores so that you have more energy available to you while you exercise. Having more phosphocreatine available to you means that your muscles will be able to contract more, leading to more strength and more muscle growth. When you take creatine, it increases the amount of creatine in your muscle cells, which then allows you to regenerate more phosphocreatine. So instead of thinking about creatine as something that gives you energy, think of it as a storage container for energy that your body already has. But wait, there's more. Creatine also plays a role in your cognitive function, which is basically a fancy way of saying that it helps your brain work better. Remember those messenger molecules that help repair your torn muscle fibers? Well, your brain needs messenger molecules too, and creatine helps with that process. When you take creatine, it increases the amount of phosphocreatine in your brain as well, which allows your brain to produce more energy and therefore send out more messengers. More messengers mean faster signal transmission, which means your brain can coordinate your movements more efficiently. This is why athletes who take creatine report not only feeling stronger, but also smarter and more focused. Now let's take a look at how creatine shuttles energy into your cells. The key to this process is a protein called creatine transporter. The job of this transporter is to bring creatine into your muscle cells. Normally, your body makes enough creatine to keep your muscle cells fully stocked, but if you're exercising a lot, then you may need a little extra. That's where creatine supplements come in. Taking creatine supplements increases the amount of creatine in your bloodstream, which then gets picked up by creatine transporter and brought into your muscle cells. Once inside the cell, creatine can be converted into phosphocreatine, which is the energy storage molecule we talked about earlier. The neat thing about creatine transporter is that it doesn't care what type of molecule it's bringing into the cell. It just knows that its job is to bring in any creatine it finds. This means that if you're taking creatine supplements, they don't need to be timed around your workouts. Just take them and your body will distribute the creatine throughout your muscle cells. Hopefully, now you know how creatine works in your body. We really hope you enjoyed learning about this with us. If you want to keep learning about topics like this, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an awesome new video. And don't forget to share this video with your friends.